The Philippine Registry of Space Objects is now live. In line with the UN Convention on Registration of Space Objects launched into outer space, the Philippine Space Agency, or PhilSA, maintains a registry of all space objects launched and owned by the Philippines. For more information, visit spacereg.philsa.gov.ph.
Maraming pangarap ang umusbong mula sa mga simpleng tanong. Mga tanong na humantong sa pagtuklas, inspirasyon, at paglalakbay. Matagal na nating tinutuklas ang kalawakan. Marami na rin tayong natuklasan dahil sa pagmamasid mula sa kalawakan. Ano na ba ang lagay ng panahon? Saan at kailan kaya tatama ang bagyo? Ano na ba ang kalidad ng hangin na ating nilalanghap? Pero mas malawak pa ang gabay na pwedeng manggaling sa kalawakan.
Hindi, okay lang.
Sound check.
Dahilan kaya tayo naglalagay ng infrastruktura at patuloy na kumukuha ng impormasyon sa ating planeta. Gabay tungo sa pangarap na makabangon at magkaroon ng mas maunlad na hinaharap katuwang ang agham at teknolohiyang pangkalawakan. Pangarap na abot tanaw na sa pangunguna ng Philippine Space Agency o PhilSA. Itinatag noong 2019, ang PhilSA ang magtataguyod ng mga programa para tiyakin ang payapang paggamit ng kalawakan upang pangalagaan ang pambansang seguridad at suportahan ang ating pag-unlad. Bantayan ang kalikasan at tiyakin na makakaiwas tayo sa peligro ng mga sakuna at nagbabagong klima. Paigtingin ang pagsasaliksik at paggawa ng mga bagong teknolohiya. Suportahan ang pagsibol ng mga bagong industriya at pagsigla ng ekonomiya. Palawakin pa ang edukasyon at kaalaman ng publiko tungkol sa kalawakan at makipagkaisa at makipagtulungan sa iba pang mga bansa. Tinatahak na ng Pilipinas ang landas tungo sa makabago, mas ligtas at mas masaganang buhay para sa mga Pilipino gamit ang agham at teknolohiyang pangkalawakan. Isang karangalan ang pagkakataong maging bahagi ng paglalakbay na ito. Isang karangalan na isulong at panatilihin ang matatag na pangkalawakang komunidad na magpapahalaga sa mga mithiin ng mga Pilipino sa buong mundo. Isang bansang masagana, nakakaangat at may kakayanan katuwang ang payapang paggamit ng kalawakan.
When the Philippines began building satellites, we started small. As small as a suitcase. Yet the stakes were high and the challenges were great. After the success with 6 of these small satellites, the Philippines is ready for something bigger. In December 2020, the Philippines kicked off the Multispectral Unit for Land Assessment, or MULA satellite project. Weighing around 130 kilograms, MULA will carry a true color camera that can capture higher resolution images, covering around 73,000 square kilometers of our country in one day. Data from MULA satellite will be used for addressing food security, disaster resilience, environment conservation, and protecting our national sovereignty. The Department of Science and Technology jump-started the funding of
Basta paano lang sir, kaantabay na lang po. Nasa loob lang naman. Kaantabay na lang po.
MULA. The project was jointly implemented.
Good morning and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, distinguished speakers, honored participants, and friends of the Philippine Space Agency, friends of space science and technology and applications, friends of space policy and international cooperation, and also friends of space law. Good morning again and welcome. We are deeply privileged to gather here today at Quantum Skyview, Gateway Mall 2, Cubao, Quezon City, for the celebration of the Philippine Space Week 2025. Today, we unite to honor the advances of the Philippines in the field of space science and technology and governance. As we look to the stars, we are reminded that our achievements are made possible through the efforts of visionaries, educators, policymakers, legal experts, and all of you young people who inspire us with their drive and intellect. Before we begin, we acknowledge with gratitude the presence of our guests, our partners in government and the academe, our esteemed judges, and all those who have contributed to the progress and promise of the Philippine Space Program. To officially commence our proceedings, may I invite everyone to please rise for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiliw, tewas ng sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa mandulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit kong pagaw, ay hinagang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iindig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidinig, luman ang araw ng walang pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo, ang inigaya ng pagkay mga aking, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Okay, thank you very much. You may now take your seats. As we settle into today's program, let me again extend my warmest welcome and appreciation to each and every one of you. Philippine Space Week is not just an observance, it is a reaffirmation of our commitment to the peaceful, responsible, and innovative use of outer space. Our gathering today demonstrates the Philippines' readiness to engage with the international space community as a nation guided by excellence, law, purpose, innovation, and vision. To formally open the celebration, it is my great honor to introduce our keynote speaker. As the director of the Philippine Space Agency, she has led our country's efforts to align national interests with international best practices in space science, technology, and law. Her tireless leadership and vision have empowered our agency to advance the aspirations of our people in the cosmic frontier. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming my boss, Director Noel Riza Di Castillo.
A pleasant good morning to everyone. To my colleagues in PhilSA, our Deputy Director General, Gay Jane Perez, good morning. Thank you for joining us here. And thank you to all the space enthusiasts with us today as we celebrate the Philippine Space Week Space Exhibit here at Quantum Skyway, Gateway Mall 2. Those joining us online, there's still time. You can join us until August 10. I want to acknowledge the presence of our judges, the Board of Judges for this contest, Judge Lim, Kiliana, and Justice Makiong. The finalists of our essay writing competition, who you will meet later, and we will announce the final winners. One of the special activities conducted for the Philippine Space Week this year and last year is the Space Policy and Law Essay Writing Contest. In this competition, we shine the spotlight on the other side of space, which is space governance through a responsive and effective space policy or space law, and which is conducted by effective space diplomacy. In the international realm at the UN level, these policies are the space treaties comprised of the Outer Space Treaty and the related conventions, Liability Convention, Registration Convention, Rescue Agreement, and the Moon Agreement, of which the Philippines is a party to two, and hopefully we will be signatory to all, and hopefully we will be parties to all by the end of this term. Likewise, there are also related guidelines promulgated by the UN Committee on Peaceful Uses of Outer Space, such as the Long-Term Sustainability Guidelines, Debris Mitigation Guidelines, and others, which are followed by state members to safeguard space safety, security, and sustainability as we pursue our programs in space science technology applications in space. Domestically in the Philippines, we aim to enrich our space governance through the development of legal frameworks that will support our space programs and our space ecosystem for them to grow and mature to their full potential, unhampered by ambiguities, but rather guided by clear and consistent standards for quality, performance, safety, and security. With this in mind, our Space Law Essay Writing Contest asked the question, what is outer space and how should the Philippines define it? We received, I believe, 30 entries or more. Finally, there were 24 qualifiers, which from law students all over the country. They answered the questions in 1,500 to 2,500 words. I should say our Board of Judges had their work cut out for them in reading and rating these entries. And again, I want to express our heartfelt appreciation for sharing your valuable time and expertise to help us determine the winners. We received entries that laid out sound proposals on how we as a country can optimize the use of space by starting with a definition and delimitation of outer space. From the kind of entries we received, we can certainly say that we have a budding set of sensible and thoughtful space policy practitioners in our law schools at present who will take the reins someday in this field, leading the country with an effective and responsive space governance mechanism backed by responsive legal frameworks. In closing, allow me to recognize the law students who have shown interest by sending their entries to the writing contest. By your participation, we know that we have achieved our objective of raising awareness and interest in the field. Keep it up. To our Board of Judges, your generosity in sharing your wisdom and time made this contest a success. To the Space Policy and Legal Affairs Division, who spearheaded this competition, a job well done. And finally, to the winners, congratulations for handing over the best entries this year. In behalf of the Space Policy International Cooperation Bureau of the Philippine Space Agency, thank you very much to all of you. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Director Castillo, for your keynote and your clear vision for what we have in our Philippine space activities. We now proceed to the crucial subject that forms the very legal backbone of our national space endeavors, the Registration Convention and the Registration of Space Objects. The Philippines' accession to the Convention on Registration of Objects launched into outer space has cemented our place among responsible spacefaring nations. To guide us through the legal framework and procedures and international obligations involved, we are privileged to have with us Attorney Giovanni C. Concepcion. Attorney Concepcion's expertise and dedication have been instrumental in shaping the legal landscape for Philippine space governance. Let's all welcome Attorney Giovanni Concepcion.
Thank you, Attorney Chris. So today, once again, good morning, everyone. For those who are here in Quantum Skyview in Gateway Mall 2. So I'm going to provide a brief background on the registration convention. So for today's event, this is a two-pronged event. We have the public launch of our registry of space objects, and also the awarding of our winners for our essay competition. So for the implementation of the registration convention, let me share to you what is provided in the Philippine Space Act. So we have a Philippine Space Act, which is Republic Act 11363, which ensures the adherence to the international treaties and principles promulgated by the United Nations and active participation in the international space community. Section 21 of that Philippine Space Act provides the creation of a national registry of space objects, which should be in accordance with the Convention of the Registration of Space Objects launched into outer space. The PILSA, or the Philippine Space Agency, shall maintain a national registry of space objects, which shall list all space objects launched under the responsibility of the Philippines as the launching state. The PILSA shall then furnish the United Nations for Outer Space Affairs with information contained in the National Registry of Space Objects as required under the Registration Convention. So this is one of the mandates, or one of the reasons why we pursued the accession to the Registration Convention. So the Registration Convention is actually short name Registration Convention. There are 76 member states, and we acceded on May 14, 2024. So the importance of the Registration Convention is more of transparency, accountability, legal clarity of those space objects that is already launched in outer space. So it provides states with additional means in identification of space objects under the Convention of the Launching States, which shall register its space object by means of any entry in its national registry, and it maintains and furnishes the Secretary General of the United Nations as soon as practicable of the space object registered. So here are some key points under the Registration Convention. So the Registration Convention provides that each state shall maintain a national registry of space objects it launched into the outer space. So it could be the launching stage, which procures the launching of space object, or the state that the space object was actually launched. For space objects with two launching states, they shall be jointly determined in whose national registry the space object will be registered. So the Secretary of the United Nations shall also maintain a register in which there shall be full and open access. If you would go to the United Nations Office of Outer Space Affairs website, you could actually find a registry of space objects there. So there would be a list of countries providing the list of space objects actually launched in outer space. The registration submitted can be updated from time to time in the National Registry and to be submitted in the Secretary General of the United Nations for updating of the register. And did you know that, finally, did you know that the Registration Convention is the only outer space treaty that the Philippines did not sign? We actually signed all of the outer, there are actually 5 outer space treaties. So that's the Outer Space Treaty, the Moon Agreement, Liability Convention, and then we also have the Rescue Agreement. And the Registration Convention is the only outer space treaty that the Philippines did not sign. But we actually joined the outer space treaty through accession. So we'd like to thank our partners like the DFA, UPAILS in helping us to accede with this outer space treaty. So now I would like to provide the floor to Nico for run throughout to our national registry.
Hi everyone, good morning. So I am Nico Pante from the High Performance Computing and Information Systems Division. So our team is responsible for maintaining the IT infrastructure of PhilSA and developing software for space technology and applications. And in collaboration with the Space Policy and Legal Affairs Division, we developed the Philippine Registry of Space Objects. The Philippine Registry of Space Objects contains information about our registered sovereign satellites and including its status and operator. So you can visit the website using the QR code or visit the link at spacereg.philsa.gov.ph. So the Philippine Registry of Space Objects contains all our registered space objects. Currently, we have 9 registered space objects, and it is organized by active satellites to inactive satellites and arranged from based on their date of launch. And if we click on its image, we can find useful information. So, for example, in Diwata 2, so this is the overview of the Diwata 2 registry details. So we can find useful information. So the first, we can find the picture of Diwata 2, and below it is a description of it. So other information as well is the COSPAR designator. So the COSPAR designator of Diwata 2 is 2018-084H. So we can think of it like an ID for Diwata 2. The second information is the operator. Currently, it is now the Philippine Space Agency. Previously, it was DOST and UP. And using the registration convention, we have officially changed its operator to PhilSA. So the state of registry is Philippines. The date of launch is August 29, 2018. And the basic orbital parameters is also shown. So this information describes the satellite's position in relation to which object it is orbiting. So in this case, it is Earth. The launch vehicle is the LTD-2A-202 rocket, flight F40. And finally, the general function of the satellite is also shown. So the registry also has information on Agila 2. It is our first registered space object. It also information on Diwata 1, our first Filipino-made microsatellite, and also our Maya 1 to Maya 6 nanosatellites, which were operated by the University of the Philippines. Also, I encourage you to visit the website to learn more about these space objects. The final section of the webpage is the contact details of SPLAD. So you can email the the Space Policy and Legal Affairs Division at splad.philsa.gov.ph to learn more about the registry. And the registry has also an exhibit panel here, so I invite you to visit it. And finally, I will just like to emphasize that the website is that the registry is not just a database or website. So it is a commitment to our international duties, and by maintaining the registry, we abide to these commitments, and that we show that we are responsible of our space objects. So that is all. Good morning. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you very much, Sir Nico, and Attorney Job for those information. Let's move on to our essay writing contest. Let's now focus on nurturing the next generation of Filipino legal minds. The Space Law Essay Writing Contest challenges law students nationwide to tackle one of the most profound questions facing space law today. Through this contest, we encourage research, creativity, and engagement with real-world legal dilemmas that will shape the future of our space program. To explain the mechanics, eligibility, and aims of the contest, let us welcome Attorney Israel Llanto, an advocate for legal education and youth development. Attorney Llanto, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Attorney Chris, for that introduction. So, I'm once again, good morning. I am Israel Llanto from Space Policy and Legal Affairs Division of the Philippine Space Agency. So I'm here to give you a brief background or information about the essay writing contest. So this essay writing contest offers the participant an opportunity to delve into the intersection of law and space. Through this activity, we aim to raise awareness regarding international legal framework governing space activities and promote thoughtful discussion on economic dimension of space law. So by engaging participants in this discussion, we hope to foster a generation of individuals who are not only knowledgeable about space law, but also committed to advocating for responsible and equitable use of outer space. So in this essay writing contest, the participants were tasked to answer the question, what is outer space and how should our national law define it? So in answering this question, the participants were guided by the following mechanics. So again, it is open to all law school. Then the essay should be English, encoded single space and 1.5 spacing after each paragraph. Minimum of 1,500 to maximum of 2,500 words, excluding the title. Then it must be in A4 size, PDF format, and the word count should be appear on the last page. All entries should be original, unpublished, and in line with the essay question. AI tools may be utilized to assist the paraphrasing, reference matching, and general research process. However, the participant should maintain full authorship and responsibility over their content. So the entry should be submitted until July 21, 2025 to our division. So next slide. So in evaluating and judging the submitted entries, our judges evaluated this based on the following criteria. So 50% for the content, relevance to the theme, comprehensiveness, originality, insights, and Another 30% for the organization, clarity of thoughts, creativity, unity, and consistency. And 20% for the punctuation, spelling, capitalization, and grammar. So with a total of 100%. So in judging this essay writing contest, we actually invite a distinguished legal luminaries in the field of legal profession. So to formally introduce our judges and to proceed with the awarding of the essay writing contest, I'm now turning over the floor again to Attorney Chris. That's all for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Attorney Lianto, for the overview of our contest and its importance to the development of space law. This contest owes its success to the discerning judgment and unwavering commitment of our panel of judges. May I respectfully invite our distinguished judges to join me here on stage as we honor the winners of this space law essay writing contest. I would like to invite our Deputy Director General, Dr. Gay Jane Perez, to award also the certificate of appreciation to these judges. First up, I would like to call on stage our Director for Space Policy and International Cooperation, Attorney Noel Risa Di Castillo. Thank you po. Aba. Yung ano? Sige ba? Head up kayo. Okay, our certificate of appreciation reads Philippine Space Agency, Philippine Space Week, Certificate of Appreciation presented to, and in recognition of your invaluable time, expertise, and dedication as a judge in the Space Policy and Law Essay Writing Contest organized by the Philippine Space Agency. Your thoughtful evaluation contributed greatly to the success and integrity of the competition. We are honored to have had your support in promoting awareness and engagement in space policy and law. Presented this 9th day of August 2025 at Gateway Mall 2 in Quezon City. Signed, Gay Jane P. Perez, PhD, Deputy Director General, Space Science and Technology. Again, we would like to call on Attorney Noel Risa Di Castillo. All right. Okay, our next judge is Presiding Judge Honorable Mary Rosalyn Lim Giliano. Give her a round of applause. Thank you. So again, Judge Giliano is the presiding judge of Branch 2 MTCC of Bacoor City in Cavite. All right. Our third judge is an Associate Justice of the Court of Appeals. We would like to call on stage Honorable Michael P. Ong. All right. Thank you very much, po. Thank you very much. And photo op. I would like to call on all the judges for a photo opportunity. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much. Now that the stars have aligned, it is my distinct privilege to announce the winners of the 2025 Space Law Essay Writing Contest. This year's competition produced exceptional essays that bring fresh perspective and critical insight to the legal definition of outer space. Okay, tawagin na natin. So our third place. Ayun. Nandito naman, di ba? Okay. Our winners for the contest will also be given a certificate of recognition and a plaque, also the cash prize. And I read certificate of recognition presented to in recognition of your exemplary achievement as a winner in the Space Policy and Law Essay Winning Writing Contest organized by the Philippine Space Agency. Your contribution supports the promotion and awareness in space policy and law. Presented this 9th day of August 2025 at Gateway Mall 2 in Quezon City. Signed, Gay Jane P. Perez, PhD, Deputy Director General for Space Science and Technology. We would like to call on stage our third placer. Okay, Ms. Danielle P. Arcon. So if you want to, you can scan the QR code for her entry. Her entry is entitled The Space at Bar, Tracing Domestic Lines of Vertical Sovereignty. Once again, Ms. Danielle P. Arcon. Alright. Sige po, compress daw. Okay. Oh. Okay, sorry. Ms. Daniel P. Arcon is from Angeles University Foundation, all the way from Pampanga. Congratulations, congratulations. That's our second placer is none other than Mr. Justin Christopher R. De Borja of De La Salle University for his essay, Drawing the Line with the Pen of Law, Defining Outer Space. Right. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Congratulations. And for our first place, I would like to call on Mr. Daniel Sebastian Diaz of Ateneo de Manila University for his essay, Where Do We Draw the Line? Defining and Delineating Outer Space in Philippine Law. Congratulations, congratulations. Okay. I would like to acknowledge also the participation as judge of our fourth judge. Sadly, she's not here today. Attorney Johaira Wahab Banantan of the Department of Foreign Affairs. Okay, we would like to call again on stage our winners for a photo opportunity. Po. Photo, photo. Yan, akit muna. Yan. Akit muna. Dami hawak.
I-arrange ko lang po.
Oh. All right, thank you very much. At this juncture, we would like to ask for some words from for our winner, first placer, Sir Daniel Sebastian Diaz.
So, good morning, everyone. I was I was told that I have 2 minutes to talk about my work, so I will be talking about my work. So basically, my premise with what I wrote was the prompt told us to think about a definition of outer space. But I think what's important is how do we think of space in the first place? It's space. It's ad infinitum. It doesn't end, right? But it doesn't mean that the laws, or at least the policies that we have, will also treat space as infinite. And that is why in my piece, I propose that maybe we can start demarcating outer space at 100 kilometers. In other words, we begin outer space with 100 kilometers. And it has two folds. I have 2 points that I made in the essay. The first is that the use of space is primarily for peaceful and civilian scientific endeavors. And so we have conventions that prohibit actually the use of force, of military in certain parts of space. And secondly, and I think it's equally important, is when we define space, we are also defining the extent of our airspace, of our territory. And that's also equally important because one of the mandates of PhilSA, for instance, is to help in national security and the development of our country. So I think that kind of definition really gives out a sort of a balance between the two things. And siguro to close na lang din, I'd like to thank some few, of course, Ateneo de Manila University for teaching me. And I think more importantly, the fruitful conversations I had with my past batchmates at the National Institute of Physics. I was a physicist in undergrad. So those fruitful conversations with my batchmate really helped me in conceptualizing the essay. Again, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Okay, ang tangkad niya. Laki adjustment. All right, as our formal program draws to a close, let us all remember the journey to space is built not just on scientific discovery, but on foundations of law, ethics, and unity of purpose. To our distinguished guests, speakers, judges, essayists, and all who made this gathering possible, maraming salamat po. We are all reminded of the common adage in Latin, always, pacta sunt servanda. Okay, we are, in a way, committed to following our commitments in international law in good faith. May the lessons and inspirations we share today guide our nations to greater heights in the frontiers of space. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas, mabuhay ang Philippine Space Agency. Maraming salamat po. Okay na. Yes, we would like to invite everyone to please go around our exhibits. We have exciting stuff there. So, yeah. And please also be in tune with all other activities that we have for the rest of the week. For more information, please, you can visit our social media platforms, okay, at Philippine Space Agency. Okay, later on at 1 p.m., we will have a Yamang Kalawakan poster making awarding for winners and a poetry writing contest awarding for winners. Later at 4 p.m., we have Kwentuhan kasama ang mga PhilSA scholars. At August 10, we have mga kwentong galing sa inhinyero ng Mula. On August 11, we have a webinar on space programs and postgraduate opportunities with Australian universities, and also the Philippine Space Science and Astronomy Research Conference, which continues up until August 12. And on August 13, we have Eyes on the Cosmos, a nationwide telescope viewing celebration. So again, happy Philippine Space Week. Magandang hapon po.